Muted.
Hello everybody and welcome to today's call, Standardise and Load Important Responses. My name's Rebecca Garlick and I'll be taking you through today's call. Just before we start, a little bit of housekeeping, just to let you know this is a muted call. This is to ensure that there is no feedback and you can all hear and completely what is going on. If you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to contact our support team and we'll go through showing you how to do that shortly. Today's call is based on the defaults manager area of the system and we'll be taking you through each section of that. First of all, we'll just go through logging in. So you will all have your own individual hotel URL. Your login is your email address and the password we have provided. If you need a password reminder, you can click here and that will send you an email with your password details on if you've forgotten them. Click sign in. And then you'll be taken to the home screen, and the area we're going to be looking at today is the defaults manager. This has 9 sections. The first ones here, first 7 maybe, are all the same but contain different questions. So we'll just have a quick look at safety and security. These are a list of questions all based on your duty of care, and these can be asked each and every time by the agent. Some will be asked every single time, some all of them, some just a few of them. So you can see there's a list of questions. In all sections, 90% of these are yes or no questions, and it's just a little drop down that you click yes or no. Anything you leave as unknown will mean that you'll need to answer that question each and every time it's sent to you. So if you make sure these are updated, it will be quicker to respond. Once you've completed all the questions, you hit save and confirm, and then save and publish. That again will show that your validation has been updated today. So even though once you've completed them, do make sure you keep going back and checking them. And if you check them and they're all correct, just hit the save and confirm and that will remake that you've validated them recently. So these questions based on safety and security, on wheelchair users, deaf, hard of hearing, blind, visually impaired, lone traveller, environment and technology. Now as you can see, all the questions are into their own section. Some are shorter, so the technology questions are a lot shorter than some of the other ones. Some contain up to 30 or 40 questions. The next section is policy documents. Now agents can ask for a copy of any of these policy documents on any of their inquiries that they may have, be those groups, meetings, or even RFP. So what we're looking for is your standard terms and conditions, your privacy policy, reservation, environmental, equal opportunities, sex discrimination, health and safety, insurance, disability discrimination and lone traveller. All you do is click here to choose file, select it from your desktop, and that will be loaded for each and every time it's requested. Again, please make sure you keep these up to date and you keep checking them on a regular basis. But once they're all loaded, they'll automatically appear and you won't have to load them each and every time they're requested in the inquiry. The final section is the rates page text defaults. You can preload all your information and you can make that quicker to respond by standardizing responses. It also means if you're a group of hotels or you have a number of people within your hotel completing these responses, they're on brand and they match exactly what you're expecting to provide to each and every inquiry. So we do provide you with a standard list to start with, and to create those you can hit at the bottom, create standard defaults, and then once you've done it once it will be restore standard defaults. If you do restore them you will lose everything else that you have done. So make sure you only do that if you desperately need to. They work along, so we've got a section here, so you select if it's related to meeting rates, accommodation or other. Other is catering, equipment or anything else that could possibly be asked for. If you select accommodation you do not need to enter type or catering type. You provide a title. Now make sure this is clear to you what it actually is, because this is all you'll see when you do the select from the responses page, which again I'll show you in a second. And then the default text is what you actually want to appear in the rates included box within the responses page. So you can see here we've got 24-hour rate and 24-hour rate with LCD. So just to make it easier to differentiate between the two, so you know which one to select. If you select Other, this one will become available. So you can select Equipment, Catering or Other. This section will become available to say which catering section it belongs to. You can put it under All if you need to. Again, you give it a title and then you provide the default text here. If you at any time you don't need one anymore or it's become invalid, you can delete it by clicking here. You can add new defaults from here. Whatever you do on this page, if you don't save changes, then it won't be there. So I deleted the screen. If I don't hit Save Changes and I just leave the section, and I re-enter it, the projector screen is still available. So you need to make sure any changes you hit, you hit Save Changes. If you need any support while completing this, on top of the response that we're providing today and the calls and webinars that we do in the future, within every section of our system we have a How to Complete. So clicking on this will open it in a separate PDF. So it will take you into the knowledge base and how to complete a rates page default. This one's not yet available as it's just being rewritten. But if you open these, that will open a separate PDF. So if we do Image Manager, just to show you, it will open in a separate PDF so you can go back to the page and continue working while reading it at the same time. Going back to the home screen, I just want to show you where this applies within the requests. So if we click into Business Alerts, which is where you respond to all your inquiries, and we hit to respond on any of these. So if we try and do a meeting so you can see more on the standard response. So first of all, we'll just jump to the requirements to show you those first. Each section will show here and the answers will already be pre-selected for you and you can just hit Save. In the meeting rate section, if I want to respond, we know we want a boardroom layout, so what we do is use Save Text. Just delete what's there for now, it's obvious. Use Save Text, and this is a day delegate rate. So we're going to click here for day delegate rate, and then the information automatically appears here. You are able to put more than one thing in here if you need to, which is helpful for catering, not so much for day delegate rates. If you make any changes, so you can save these for future use. So we can call it 24-hour rate lunch restaurant. And then we save, and that'll create another entry. So if we use Save Text, you'll see now we have 24-hour rate with lunch in the restaurant. This will standardise your response, make sure you're on brand, as I said earlier, and it will just speed up your responses. Agents may give you 2 hours to respond to their inquiries, but if they've sent it to 5 hotels, but they only need to propose 3 to their client, and within the first hour, 3 hotels have come up with suitable, perfect responses, they're not going to wait for you to respond. So treat this like a telephone call. As soon as you receive it, reply to it. Treat it as though you're doing exactly the same. So don't wait for the last minute to respond to inquiries, because the quicker you respond, the more chance you've got of conversion. As I said, there's an area called knowledge base within the system, and that's a separate area from the home, and that's here. And that gives you access to all our help documents. It also gives you a link to join one of these free webinars that like what we're on today. And if you're still struggling, you can submit a help desk ticket. complete your information, detail what the problem is, and type in the message here. Anything you can send that assists what you're trying to explain helps us be able to respond to you quicker. So if you've got an error message, make a screenshot and attach it here so that we can see that error and see exactly what it is without needing to come back to you asking for more information. So once you've completed all of this and added any required attachments, you hit send. That will come directly to our support team who will look into this and come back to you. As I said, this is only a short call today. It's just to go through Standardise of responses. I hope you understand how and realise now how easy it is and how quick it is and how much time it will save you going along. Again, if you need any help, please contact our support team. Thank you very much for taking the time today to join the call. Thank you. Goodbye.